Hi, it's Hans at happierman.com. Today's topic is never forgive and never forget. Well, isn't that exactly the opposite of what we're always told? Forgive and forget? Well, if something is always told to us, it's it has to be told to us to get us to do something that isn't good for us, right? It isn't good for you to forgive and forget. I would argue that if somebody has wronged you, you would never forgive them and you would never forget. Certainly don't forget about it, right? That would be the absolute stupidest thing you could do, to forget about something that wrong has somebody done to you, because then they'll have the opportunity to do that wrong again because of your stupidity of forgetting about it. The forgiving, I think, in the probably the forgiving gets into, well, don't go overboard on your hatred and your ragefulness to this. Just kind of move on from it. But the moving on would be to move on from the person who did it too, right? If your wife did something that you find unconscionable for whatever reason, you would never forgive her for it, right? You would just say, well, that's it. The marriage is over, right? And you would move on. You would never forgive her. You would never forget, but you wouldn't let it consume your life. You would just move on. That's the forgiving. Forgive. You wouldn't feel the need to take revenge, for whatever it is that went wrong, but certainly wouldn't go back to her, right? And that's where forgiving and forgetting comes, because it allows the person who does wrong an out. And when people do wrong, they should never have an out. They have to learn, you have to teach them how to treat you and how to be, by never forgiving them and never forgetting about what they did. So I know this is the exact opposite of what you've always been taught, but I am trying to help you be a happier man after all. And of course, I had to learn this the hard way. Let me tell you this. I try to forgive and forget all the things my wife was doing to me. And I get into a lot of that in my book, Leave Your Wife and Become a Happier Man with a 3-Step System, found on my website. But yeah, I was trying to forgive. I was trying to forget, I'd get that advice from time to time. And boy, that was really bad advice. It ruined my life, right? It's taken me years to recover from this, and I don't know that exactly I'll recover totally fully, but I'm certainly working on it. But no, don't forgive and don't forget. It's stupid advice. That's just one of those stupid things that people say to justify their own inability to value their own life, and it's what the bad people say to allow them to continue to do bad things to you or to me or to others, right? Forgive and forget is the exact wrong way to do it. You never forgive and never forget. That's the better advice. That's what a happier person is going to do. They're gonna, you don't get any real chance. You might get a small chance. You do something wrong. Well, it's a small wrong. I'm going to overlook it this time, but that's it, right? You can maybe overlook small wrongs, but that cumulatively they may you may have to not overlook them. So when people do like real big wrongs, well, you really should never forgive, and you should certainly never forget those big wrongs. So give that idea some thought. Never forgive and never forget. All for now.